This week on Big Eyes, we start a new segment called the Big Eyes Power Rankings. Find out which manga make our top 8 for the week. Starting on episode 105. Let's get it.
The Big Eyes Podcast.
Welcome back, episode 105 of the Big Eyes Podcast. Better late than never, but we always here, bringing it to you live and direct for these Shonen Jump streets. You know what I'm saying? It's AD and LJ. We ain't got no guests this week, though. So,
No guess, but you know what? We're always enough.
yeah, you already know.
You already know. Listen, self love. We're always enough. All right,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Shout out to the guests that did pull up, though, man. Like,
Oh yeah, man. Listen, we done had some great people come on. In the start of this new era. Kicked it off with the boy JB. We had the boy Evan. We had Nick. Man, listen, and shout out, big shout out to the giveaway winner.
Oh yeah.
Of the Jujutsu Kaisen. We told y'all, man. New era.
Whole
New era. We're on different. We're on a different wavelength. But yeah, man, shout out to the winner at Dark Wave Duke. Actually, AD posted an amazing message that he sent AD, man. It was heartfelt. So
yeah,
I listen, man. We are creating more manga fans is the point of this whole podcast. So I'm very happy, for the winner. Very happy that we were able to get that, make that happen and sent those mangas through. So, man, listen, we got more stuff coming out the pipeline. So always remember, keep your eyes on the lookout.
Yeah, man, you already know.
But all new weekend manga, some fun stuff happening. We got some good news this week.
Yeah.
Kaiju number 8.
We got the anime announcement. No studio announced, but just that it's coming, and it's produced by Toho. And if you don't know who Toho is, they make all the kaiju movies, Godzilla. You know what I'm saying? All of the things that deal with big monster battles. That's Toho. So I mean, it's in line, man. Like we, I think it's gonna be in good hands. So
Yeah, definitely. Really super excited. I mean, me and AD have talked about it. Kaiju number 8 is definitely one of the current Shonen Jump mangas that we're very excited to see to get animated. I think it's going to translate well. I think it's going to look amazing. I'm very excited. I'm wondering what studio is going to pick it up, and as we go along with that process, when do you think? What are you thinking in terms of drop date?
Probably next spring. I don't think we're gonna see it this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure not this year.
I'll,
You thinking next spring that
either
early,
next
that fast?
spring or next summer. I feel like next summer would be.
I think I'm sitting there thinking fall. I'm thinking fall, winter next year.
The only reason I would say summer is because I feel like a lot of I don't know. I didn't look it up, but I feel like a lot of those giant monster movies are like summer blockbusters. So I think it would be in line for it to come out like around the April May time, and then just like run through the whole summer, and we get like that first good season all the way to the end of the fall.
No, yeah. I mean, I could see that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could definitely see that end of summer going into fall. Spring's that's hopeful.
Yeah.
Spring is hopeful.
That's very
like
true.
that's if every single star aligned and everything goes perfectly smooth, and then maybe spring. But I definitely could see the end of summer. I could see fall. I think winter at the latest.
Yeah.
Fall, winter, around there. I think that's a good ballpark.
Yeah. Speaking of anime,
other than that,
I would say
what's up?
we could jump into the JoJo thing because we got the second trailer for the second half of JoJo Part 6, but that's not coming until this fall, and that's kind of crazy in my opinion because we got that last around December, and usually when Netflix drops stuff like that, they'll be like, we can bring it out after the 13 weeks and then drop it in the spring, and then we'll just keep adding on for that. But nah, they said we getting it in the next year. Like, so I think it's gonna be a good minute until we see like the completion of at least this JoJo part as far as anime is concerned.
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I think, man, a lot of people have been very weird about this whole Netflix and JoJo's thing. Um, there's been a lot of weird discourse around it,
yeah.
especially how it dropped and how people. I mean, I feel this is very. I mean, when it comes to Netflix, a lot of this is pretty typical for them and how they drop things, and also it's just like with all the other things I'm pretty sure they got going on, this being delayed a bit or coming out later, um, close to a whole year after, I'm not really, I don't know. I'm not seeing the real big issue with it.
I think a lot of people's big issue is that there's two other parts that they have to animate, and it's gonna take them if they're going at a yearly pace. We're not gonna get those other two parts until maybe 2024, 2025 ish. So I think that's where everybody else is like, because there are a lot of fans who are really fans of part 7 and 8, and if they're just like taking their time through part 6, they're like, man, we need to
What
speed.
part 6 is he?
Part I love part 6.
I watched part 6 with zero like knowledge of everything else. I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just jump in. Jolene's hard.
Yeah, man. But that's the thing.
Jolene's one of the hardest. Like Jolene's really one of the hardest like characters I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Especially design wise.
yeah,
It's
man.
tough.
Yeah, I really rock with Jolene. I think that's just the thing though with like the JoJo fans out here, man, because it's just like,
They go too hard for this.
yeah.
I'm like, dang. I'm like, y'all really? I'm like, all right, I guess if that's how you feeling about it.
You know what's crazy? I wanna kind of bring this up real quick because we just got the news today about the Saint Seiya getting, not Saint Seiya, but there is news about Saint Seiya, but Prince of Tennis getting redubbed, and like all the episodes and new seasons
Also,
getting.
we also got some news about Crunchyroll only paying dub
Oh,
actors only like $600.
that's wild. That's insane, man.
Hey, Crunchyroll moving different.
Hey, man, I couldn't.
That's not okay,
That is
man.
not. Niggas is working their voices to the bone. Like,
Nah, bro, you ain't gonna have me screaming at the top of my lungs in the studio full of other folk
nah, for real though, man. Like,
talking crazy, acting crazy on the mic. You don't even pay me $600 to do this,
hell no. Nah.
man.
I need some health insurance or something, man. Like, you don't know you could blow a voice box out. Messing with these folks, man.
Man, listen, Crunchyroll moving different. All that money they just got.
And they trying to cut out the free stuff, so now only people can pay for the subscription. Like, they moving really different, dog. They seeing their eyes on the money now. Now that they got
Oh,
Funimation under their belt.
yeah, we gonna see how long that lasts.
Yeah,
But I mean, this is kind of this is a real issue, I guess, in terms of where else are you gonna go stream anime?
I mean that's the funny thing because we do got Netflix, and
I mean, we got but like
I
a lot of shit on Netflix is outside the Netflix originals.
I was gonna
A
say
lot of
like
shit.
we just got the other news about High Dive getting all of those other things. Like they just got the Food Wars dubs or whatever. Like so,
Oh yeah, they kicked off Food Wars too off Crunchyroll. Man,
yeah,
they hurt my heart. They wild. I don't know what's up over there with them.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Let me
Like it's a lot of
let
stuff
me not
shifting
talk too
around.
crazy. Let me not talk too crazy about Crunchyroll. They still get they still getting they 8 a month from me. So
Man, listen. As long as they ain't trying
I'm
to,
still paying the 8, man. I'm still paying the 8.
I'm squinting really hard because I feel like they're gonna try to jump up in the next few years, try to hit that $10 or $12.
Nah, man, listen, bro. I've been dealing with that trash interface for I don't know how many years now, bro. They better grandfather me in.
I'm saying.
I better get grandfathered in, bro. They better give me the listen, man. They better give me the for real, man. I heck nah. They try to hit me with the we're about to up it. I'm like, nah, y'all can keep it. Nah, I'll go
Yeah,
illegally stream if that's the case.
yeah.
Y'all not finna. I've been right. Listen, I've been dealing with that trash interface. I've been dealing with the beta. I've been dealing with all that. It stayed solid. I ain't man. Listen, y'all still been getting my monthly. This how you gonna treat me?
This how you gonna
Have you
do me?
playing basketball?
Y'all, I was the day one.
Man, listen, I'm playing basketball in Pelican Bay. Oh man, but in some last little other news.
We got some volume updates. I guess we could say. Saint Seiya got the 50 million copies, and
Saint Seiya 50 million, JJK 65 million, and Doron hit volume 1.
mm-hmm.
That's some good that's some good volume heat right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The Doron volume 1 cover is hard. It's tough. I like it.
yeah, definitely. I've been really rocking with Doron, man. I'm really
Oh man, Doron's been. I spent this last I spent the weekend really catching up on a lot of things. Here's the issue sometimes with reading weekly is that it's like I feel that you miss 1 week and then you look up and you be like, oh damn, I really missed like 10.
listen, dog.
Like it happens every time. You just be like, oh man, like this is I miss a couple weeks. You look up, you're like 15 chapters behind. You're like, whoa, when did this happen?
Man, listen, I looked up at Yozakura family. I'm 20 chapters behind that, man. 20 chapters behind Yozakura. Hella chapters behind Elusive Samurai, man. Like, I spent the weekend trying to catch up on Witch Watch, and I'm really, man.
Oh, hey, I did the same. Okay, I gotta eat the crow.
Let's talk
I
about
gotta
it. Let's
eat the
talk about
crow.
it.
I gotta eat the crow, bro. Witch Watch hard.
Man, I'm glad you see
I
the vision.
I gotta eat the crow, bro. You gotta. That's crazy. I really gotta do it. Witch Watch is really tough. Like it's it's everything we've been saying that like Shonen Jump been looking for, and
hmm
like I know where I'm at right now. Like you're getting we about to get this ogre versus werewolf thing
Oh, you
popping.
at that part? Oh yeah.
But like I like how they've held off though a lot on kind of like these battle things and like you know what I'm saying
hmm
they've held off a minute on the big fight stuff and whatnot and the actual conflict of the story of what's going on with Nico and try and her witch powers and all
hmm
that like up until this point, it's kind of been a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I'm
it's
saying?
really been like a
It's
slice of
been
life.
fun. It's been fun. It's been like shenanigans. It's just been just a bunch of like you know what I'm saying, like weird side quest, and like now you're kind of jumping into this main story, and I'm like, oh, like this is kind of tough. I'm like, all right, man. So Witch Watch is definitely something I'll be once I'm fully caught up. It will have a bigger presence I feel on this show.
Yeah,
Um
I'm,
but no, I mean, I'll say this. I think the big reason too why I've been fell off on a few things is because a lot of the newer stuff has been really, really good. And I've
yeah,
really been kind of like especially when the newer things come in, like I really get invested in terms of like what is going on with some of these newer mangas that have came in with Shonen Jump.
yeah.
Especially like you said, Doron Akane had an amazing chapter. Aishiman,
Mm,
once again, we've talked crazy about.
hmm
Earthchild it's there,
Yeah. So here's
but I don't know.
here's the thing about the Earthchild chapter that I'm like, because I know we had the conversation, but like as I was sitting on it, I'm like, I think this is where we could kind of see some type of conflict get introduced only because of how they paced this last chapter about like the communication between the baby and the father so that they can send that wavelength to the mother and it's like this whole love thing. I feel like where they can like take that is if they introduce like another earth child and like maybe if it's a woman, maybe try to stir up the pot a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Make it a love triangle. Like, get the baby a little riled up, like, yo, bro, you know you got a wife up there, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some type of conflict that can get introduced to kind of break the balance so he can't communicate with her that much. Like, that's something like I hope they introduce. I'm hoping they introduce that in the next chapter. But right now, man, they taking a sweet little time, and the hourglass finna run dry. You know what I'm saying? Like it's finna run out.
Oh yeah, I like the latest chapter of it. Nah, I'm lying. It's okay. I don't really care for it. It was cool. It was like heartfelt. It was like,
Yeah,
oh, like look at them. But like once again, like when I'm just looking like, what is this doing for the story?
yeah.
Like where? How is this pushing this along? Like it's just, it feels like just a bunch of like teary eyed. Oh my gosh, like they're in love and teary eye emoji, like oh my gosh, and then it's like you think about it, you're like, all right, well,
Yeah,
she's still stuck.
exactly. Where's the conflict? Like,
Yeah, where she's still stuck. That's cool. And like they're like, well, this connection, like it could mean something. I'm like, cool. Like I know we here. Cool. Okay, Birdman hand rub. I don't know. Like I'm just vibing. I'm vibing with you too. Like it's just right now it's just looking like relationships and vibes and sad,
pretty much.
sad things and vibes. That's what it's feeling like, man. But I don't know. Earthchild is what it is. But no, like I think this was a really strong week and a
Mhm.
strong enough week to where the Big Eyes is going to introduce the Big Eyes power rankings.
Mm.
So a quick breakdown on these power rankings. So everybody has a good clear understanding of what the guidelines of what our outline is in terms of
How we're finna go about
uh
this?
yeah, how are we gonna go about this? So the guidelines are this. Each power ranking is based on that week. So that week's chapters, last week's chapters really don't truly like it has a role to play. The overall story does have a role to play. We take that into account, but really when we're ranking on the week that they drop, like the chapters that dropped that week. So
Hmm.
one week it may look completely different than the last week.
Yeah,
But the end of each quarter, so our what will be what end of June for
yeah,
us?
yeah. When
End of
summer, because
June.
it's let's say yeah, because it's spring now. It just started spring, so we'll say about
So in the summer, yeah, at the end of each quarter, we will compile an actual like, okay, for quarter two, this is our power rankings for which mangas have killed it for quarter two, quarter three, and then
mm,
I think that'll be easier for us too for like when we do our end of the year list or end of the
yeah,
year whatever end of year discussion that we have something a little bit guideline. So
yeah,
pretty much essentially we're just basing them off of what our power rankings are gonna be. All
yeah.
right.
The,
All
the
right.
cha-
We're all good. We're all
and
clear.
here's another thing, because like it's always going to be about the chapters that drop that week, but like we may throw in some things because we got stuff that comes in bi-weekly or monthly. Who knows? We might throw that into that week, and that may play a part in how we decide for that particular week. Who knows?
Yes.
We'll
So our power rankings are based around that. Feel free to argue with us if you really feel some type of way. There's already some people who felt some type of
Mhm.
way about how we were feeling about certain things. Um. So right now, our power rankings for this week. We're gonna talk about the top four, then we'll tell you the bottom four. It's gonna be only 8 because
Mm.
that's what we got a room out for.
Yeah,
So our top 8 or our top four, and we'll talk about these four. One Piece gets the number one spot this week.
you already know why. We'll get to it, but you already know why.
I mean, we can just talk about it
Oh
now.
shit. Well, shit.
One Piece gets the top spot this week. Number one, One Piece chapter
1044.
1044. Damn, we're already at 1044. That's
I
crazy.
know, man.
So 1044. Is this the biggest One Piece reveal
So
yet?
far, yes. So far, I would say so. Because, and I want to talk about it in relation to when we get to one of the things in bottom four, and why I think it's so important. Because not only because of the Joy Boy thing that we learned about for 10 years, but like it reaches all the way back to literally chapter one. Like we get the full explanation of Luffy's devil fruit itself. Like it's not just a gum gum fruit; it is a human fruit model sun god Nika. And it's kind of funny when you think about like we just learned about Nika within the last 20 to 30 chapters or so. Like when we had the guy named Who's Who talk about he was fighting against Shanks and he stole the devil fruit, and he when he was in prison he heard about the sun god, and we know about Joy Boy and all of these things tying together to Luffy being Joy Boy. It's all things that like Oda has predetermined and like pulled back from past things and tie them all into this one moment. And not only that, but it's the fact that like we get to see Luffy go crazy. Like this nigga is literally a Looney Tunes character, dog. Like it's insane what this chapter did.
Nah, yeah, this chapter was absolutely amazing. It lived up to, I believe, e- every sense of the hype it lived up to.
Yeah.
Like it was highly anticipated. Obviously, a decade old question gets answered. We really figure out the source of Luffy's powers, and now you like, especially when you go back and look at a lot of other things that when you look back at the complete journey now and where they have had gone to get to this point, you kind of got to see things from a different context and a different lens, especially when you're talking about like Skypiea and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a whole different yeah, you see it from a whole different angle, a whole different viewpoint. I mean, obviously the theories and the um you know
All the
have been going crazy.
speculation.
Yeah, speculation. My bad. My brain is moving on slow mo. But no, pretty much all the speculation, all the theories. Everybody's now going even more deeper and crazy, and third eye is completely open. And
Yeah.
um, we see this in this chapter that yeah, like you said, like Luffy he defines all odds.
Yeah.
It's low key kind of a fourth wall break how they just completely lean into the fact that, like you say, he is a Looney Tune character. They're just like skip it, like he is an absolute cartoon. Um, and we see the Gear 5. What I'm saying, we get to see Gear 5, and Gear 5 looks amazing.
Uh-huh.
I really wonder how this is gonna look, like color wise,
Yeah.
animated. This is gonna be crazy. But yeah, nah, we like I love how they jump right back into the action too, of
Yeah.
just like him just grabbing Kaido and just swinging Kaido while he's in his dragon form just around. And so it's yeah, it's this chapter is so ridiculous. Like you said, I think just the Looney Tune thing is just perfect. Like it's just ridiculous. It just seems like a bunch of antics and gags and a bunch of like Tom and Jerry type shit. But
Yeah. And I think that's the best part, because it's like we know One Piece has been like that type of goofy, and Luffy has always been that type of person. But like in a serious ass moment such as this, where this nigga pretty much died and came back and is baby shaking Kaido like this, dog, like it's crazy, man. Uh I don't know where to go from here. I think that the next chapter, because in the unofficials translations, they said that it's gonna be the climax. Like it's gonna One Piece is getting the cover, they're gonna get a color spread and everything, and this is gonna be the climax of the fight. So next chapter should technically be the end of this whole entire fight. So we might see some actual seriousness, and I think a part of that is um perfect, because even when Luffy came back, we don't even see him use any named attacks. This nigga is literally just gripping Kaido with a big ass forearm. Like he grabbed Kaido with the hand of God through the roof, man, and just like dragged him up to the roof and just shook this nigga around. He peeled up the ground and turned the ground into rubber to blast back a blast from Kaido, man. Like, and it's just insane where everything is building up to. I think we are actually getting to the end of One Piece, and I think that's like a self realization moment. Like it's like I think when I read the chapter, I was like, oh shit, I'm having an existential crisis. Like One Piece is really about to end, dog. Like what the fuck is happening? Like what is going on here, man? But like, yeah, man, it was a really really fun and amazing chapter.
yeah, it was great. Next up on our list, number 2 in our power rankings, Sakamoto Days.
Yeah, man. Sakamoto days. It's been a minute since we talked about Sakamoto days.
It has been. Last time we talked about it, we talked about how it was a lot of violence and vibes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cyrus. But they've shout out to Cyrus, man.
Yeah.
Who is who had a really big hand in helping us make this list.
Yeah.
He is now a part of the power ranking committee. Um,
uh,
so but no, Sakamoto Days this week. I think it was an excellent chapter. I like the sense of mystery.
mm-hmm.
Um, that they're starting to get back into, especially now with this new character Akira being introduced.
Yep.
Um, and even seeing like Sakamoto take a like high interest into her
Mm-hmm.
of like, yo, her skills are beyond, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like beyond rookie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, coming from, even starting from the airplane crash and
Mm-hmm.
her sewing everybody's shirt together to make a parachute
Yeah.
to like now in this chapter with, Sakamoto and
Uh,
their crew. Because obviously right now they're going through the JCC training
yeah, they're
or the
going through this
JCC,
whole exam, and you
yeah,
know,
orientation.
yeah, they came up on the plane with this admin who's also a part of the order, and he's a film director, and he's just following around. He's following around Shin, and I think his name is Mafuyu, the mask kid. Like he's following them around, trying to catch like some films because he's a very very aggressive film director, and he likes to get into the action and make every scene look as real as possible. So he decides to shoot the pilots to make the airplane crash. He's like, no, that's not enough. Let's actually blow this bitch up. So he blows up the airplane, and now everybody's just free falling from the airplane. And then you got Akira, you know, sewing everybody's shirts up so they can land safely. And the examiners, come up with this plan because obviously they didn't plan that shit. So they come up with a new plan to have this catch like it's like a
Catch the tail.
catch the tail game.
It's like flag
Yeah,
football,
pretty much.
except you're killing people.
Yeah. Or you're not supposed to. They
Murder.
said not to.
You're not supposed, man. Whatever. You're gonna put a bunch of assassins in a whatever, man. You think they're gonna listen to that? It's very Hunter examish right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they killing each other. Hunter, how they had to collect the little.
The name tags.
Yeah, they had to collect the
Or
tags.
yeah. And
So
it's a fun exam though. We get Shin is not on Sakamoto's team. Sakamoto and Akira are on a separate team, and then you got Shin and Mafuyu with somebody else, and they're being chased by this girl who is a recommended student who got just put into the exam. Like it's kind of like Todoroki and them getting put into UA just off of recommendations. Because they have practical experience. So it's like three of them. I don't remember the girl's name or the other two guys. We'll get back to them when we get to them. But right now,
well, one of the guys are dead. So
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That shit crazy.
yeah, yeah, Akira built different.
Yeah,
But yeah, then you got the shorty with the axe. Right now she's fighting Shin and the other cool looking kid
yeah,
with the face mask
yeah.
as a germaphobe. I rock
Mhm.
with him. And she got this. It's funny because she got this like Sakamoto. She's a Sakamoto stand.
Yeah, she got a whole like cheat keychain little doll on her bag, and I think one of them almost destroyed it, and she flipped out. Was like, "Yo, don't you fuck with my shit, man." So Shin is going through it right now with her. But with Akira in this latest chapter, her Sakamoto and the other guy, I think his name is like Killer or something like that.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, Kill Baby. They all got ambushed on the beach with this net, and they're basically being gunned down. But Sakamoto has his bulletproof apron to kind of like block the shots. Akira, because she's so skinny and limber, she's able to squeeze through the thing. And Sakamoto's kind of jealous, like, damn, I wish I could do that shit. But he tells her to run away. It's okay to run. But then you see Akira's perspective, and she's like, no, I can't run away and leave behind the people that I really care about. And I really think I think this is a really, really good moment because we're getting introduced like more characters as a part of like this younger generation of assassins when we've only really seen like Sakamoto and Shin and Liu, and they're kind of already in this assassin training perspective. But then you got these other people who are about to join, and it feels like they're going to make a new order in a way, like a new assassin order. Because she has this air about her that Sakamoto remembers. It's like you have these movements; they're very familiar. Like, what's your name? And then she tells him like, my name is like Akira.
Akira, Kyle,
Yeah, a cow.
Akeo.
Yeah, and he remembers like she was one of the members in the order, like a friend of Sakamoto's from back in the day. And it just ends on that cliffhanger, man. And I just like, I really like the era of Akira and where they're trying to drive the story to. And we're gonna see more of Sakamoto's past, man. Like it's really been fun.
Nah, yeah, it's great. I like when how they're tying in the past and tying in with these future spies. I like the situations that they're putting them in to show like these new spies shine. Yeah, like even Shin when he was on the like on the plane and fighting. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the kid's name that he was just
Mafuyu.
fighting, but Mafuyu. So when he's fighting them, and then you see like him starting to perfect his technique, where he's actually starting to see the future and read people's movements, and
Mm-hmm.
like, and even Shin being like, I can't continue to rely on Sakamoto to save my ass every single time. Like I got to step
Yeah,
it up. So I agree with you. I think I love how they're building up on these younger spies, and like you said, the potential of building something like a new order will be really dope.
yeah.
But no, this chapter this week was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed it a lot. Coming in number 3, uh a newbie that is definitely, I don't know, man. Listen,
It's
this
a
one might be
darling,
really
man. It's
special.
a darling, man. Yeah.
Akane Banashi coming in at number 3 for us
Listen.
on these rankings. Um, how did you feel what like about this chapter?
I really enjoyed it because it's a training chapter in a sense. And like we get these type of training arcs every now and again in shonen, but like I enjoy how they're using this type of style where she's working in a bar to understand people a little bit more, because if you remember from the last chapter when she performed her rakugo and she was talking about working in a bar, but the crowd just wasn't really into it. Like some people were laughing at the jokes, but not everybody could like really relate to it. And they're kind of driving home the point that like you got to be somebody pretty relatable. You got to know your audience and relate to your audience. So when you're telling these jokes and speaking to them, like they can feel some type of like similarity to it. They can feel like, oh yeah, I can understand that. That touched me a little bit more. So the jokes hit home a little bit more. And so she's working in this bar, man, and she's coming off a little strong working. She's trying to like do a little bit too much for the customers, and she has to sit down and talk with I forgot the bar owner's name, but he's also a fan of Rakugo, and you kind of see him um as he's also a fan of Rakugo, he watched Master Shiguma perform, and he kind of likes how he performs. And he's like, you just gotta really take your time and like understand the people around you. And so they come up to the end of the chapter, and there's the conflict with a foreigner who is trying to read the menu, and he can't understand it because he's foreign. Like he just sees like the Japanese text on the menu. And she's like, I can't really understand it, but let me act it out. Let me do like these charades to kind of perform it. So she's like showing him like, this is beer, this is like the hot plate. Let me is this what you want? And she's just pointing it out. He's like, yeah, yeah, I want that. I want that. And then he was able to say thank you because she was able to express what he wanted so he could enjoy himself at the bar. So I really enjoyed how they presented a problem. She had to work through it. And then we kind of see the results of that at the end. So when Kyo comes back and he's like, how is she doing? And one of the funniest parts is she serves him a glass of orange juice because the owner of the bar said, hey, he comes here all the time and he really likes orange juice. So when she just learned so much in this chapter, and it just ends with Kyo like, I want to see your results. I got a show next weekend. Let me see what you could do. So yeah, man, I just really enjoyed how they presented a conflict and they tied it all up within the same chapter, man. It was just a really fun chapter.
I think I like the how they did the training part in terms of having her do something that's a little bit out of the norm,
Mm-hmm.
like having her be a server to help her with her, acting skills or
Yeah.
like little skills that she's missing. Just kind of putting her in a different situation, different setting, But she's picking up the same lesson, like you said, in terms of just like learning how to read a room, learning
Yeah.
how to read a person, like kind of knowing. Um, no, I love how the little skills that she presented. Like he's like, I like the part where she's talking to the restaurant owner. He's like, "You're not bad. You're just coming on too
Yeah.
strong."
He's
You
like,
know what I'm
this is
saying?
not a
Like it's
sports
like you're.
competition.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this, he was like, you're just coming on too strong. Like lax a little bit. Like learn how to read. You know what I'm saying? What they actually need. And then I like how the situation she's put in where they bring in someone who is, who can't speak the same language, and now she has to kind of use her body language in a way to communicate with them a different way.
Mm-hmm.
But she has to also not only learn how to communicate a different way, but she has to learn how to listen in a different way too, or understand in a different way also. And
Mm-hmm.
just those moments right there, she ends up she ends up understanding and learning like what she needs. But yeah, I think that this chapter was really great. I think it obviously training arcs and whatnot, nothing out of the norm for a shonen, or nothing out of the norm for manga. But I just like how they're keeping it really interesting. How it's
Mm-hmm.
not like, I love how even when she entered the school and the headmasters like, here are here are the people who are going to be tutoring you, and all of them are just kind of like, no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then she ends up, here's one of the upperclassmen who does take very much pride in, taking care of the newer students and the people who are new coming in. And they're seeing that relationship between those two characters, and just watching her learn in a different way. It's keeping it interesting, it's keeping it fun, it's keeping the story moving at a really great pace that I really enjoy. And I think that this week's chapter definitely uh it deserved it for sure.
Yeah, man. Really, really good stuff.
All right, so number four caused a little bit of the little riff for number four, but we ultimately decided. So it was between Blue Box, and it was between Blue Box and Ayashimon, and ultimately we ended up picking Ayashimon. Now, Blue Box chapter was really great. I think Blue Box chapter was really one note though.
I
As much as I
enjoyed it,
love Blue Box,
but yeah.
it was very it was these I think it's the cliffhangers. I think they're going so hard for these crazy ass cliffhangers, that not even crazy cliffhangers, was like these intense cliffhangers.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point it's like, okay, are you trying to like, it's like, are you writing for the cliffhanger, or are you writing for the story? Like at this point for me.
It's kind of crazy
uh
because it's like it does both, and it's not like it's doing it bad, but it just kind of sucks because it's like, God damn it, another cliffhanger, dog. Like, what the fuck is this?
but like the ones, obviously, you see Chi and Taki, they get stuck in the inn
Yeah.
together. The storm's too bad
Mm-hmm.
and they can't get on a train, so they're stuck in this inn
Yeah.
together. um which was
I
cool.
mean, because
But
they
like,
went to the beach. Like, she wanted to go to the
yeah, they
beach,
went to the beach,
and Taiki
they
gave
have
her a
this
little
little
cake.
moment, gave her a cake. She smashes the cake. They're all having fun. They're being childish. He notices that her witch bracelet broke and she lost it, and
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "Well, I gotta make you a new one." You know what I'm saying? He got sliding the little flirtatious things, but I don't know. I think that this, in terms of Ayashimon, and you compare the two, I think Ayashimon did away. Just
Yeah.
this week's chapter of Ayashimon was different. It was special.
Yeah, we got the end of the fight with him and the Todoroki alliance, man, and I really enjoyed how he wasn't really trying to fight for real because at the end of the day they all cared about Urara at the end of the day. So like we get the end of the fight, Kaido passes out because that nigga really just like dragged him around the city for real, and he's still a human, so it's like, all right, gotta patch him up a bit. But then they ride out on the Harleys. You know what I'm saying? They got 2,000 gang members with them. And you see, what's his name? 10. You see him explain that he wasn't a part of the actual syndicate, but he only shared the sake cups with her grandfather up privately. So he only,
Well, her dad.
I thought it was her grandfather.
No, it was her
Oh
dad.
shit. Well, I mean, that's even crazier. Like they exchanged it privately. And so like the fact that, he's only loyal to him, it was really crazy. And so he's gonna sit here in the next chapter. He's gonna explain what really went down, and then we get the part with Dopo, who is a really wicked villain. I'm not gonna hold you. This man,
Man, I love Dopo. I love Dopo. Oh man, he don't
he
play,
does
bro.
not
He don't.
play.
He's not playing with these cats, bro. He said that's enough. He said that we ain't playing with y'all right
Let me tell you
now.
how crazy
Um,
this is, man. He slit the dude's throat and then froze the blood so he couldn't. He won't die, but if he moves around too much, the blood will like melt
it'll
down.
warm up and it'll
Yeah.
melt. How you slash somebody's jugular and then stop it with some ice and just says, hey, bro, you talking too much and you moving too much. You're gonna kill yourself. I like Dobo's a great villain. I think the Todoroki Alliance is a great syndicate to bring in. I like how they kind of move on their own, and obviously you see, Big Sis. She knew what she was doing, trying to get them on their side.
Hmm.
I love how I don't know. I just really love this story so far. Like, take out the action, like the story in general of everything that's going on. Of like Dopo now running this, running the actual syndicate and trying to keep her out of it because he like he's behind the murder of her dad, and
Hmm.
how she's trying to reclaim it and like the moves that she's making to do it. Um, Once again, Moro, even though he is the technically the main character, he isn't. I think his goofiness and his role that he plays is so simple and it's so like this is just a role that he plays that it doesn't cause other conflicts within the story. That you kind of allow
Hmm.
other people around him to do their thing.
Hmm.
Um,
It's kind of like the Yuji
nah,
syndrome, where it's like
a
he
little
plays
bit.
he's because he's the main character. We don't have to really focus on him too much. It's really about everybody else around him.
No, yeah, definitely. I completely agree with that. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. The Ashimon is I'm championing it. Is this week's chapter was amazing. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So now our last four was okay. So we had Blue Box.
Hmm.
We had Doron was coming in at that would be 6, 7 Vigilantes, and Jujutsu Kaisen gets 8.
Hmm.
Really, the big ones here is no, we're not putting MHA on there. I feel the Dobby thing is done, and I don't care about what happened to Dobby after that tree. I don't care about anything that happened to Dobby
It was
after the
just a
whole.
whole setup chapter. Like we get a little moment with Deku explaining how he's flying, and like he has that internal monologue with I think the second user who's like, "Have you tried to use my power yet? Can't use it yet. You got to keep it locked up with it. You got to save it for that very special moment." You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. And then we get a small moment with Toga, and then the Dobby stuff. Like,
And I think this is I don't know, like all those things were just things that we've either seen before or like heard. You know what I'm saying? Like the once again, Dobby just going on these monologues is slowly getting played out.
yeah,
It was tight when when he did the big Toyo reveal, and now him becoming this character that has this weird. I don't like. Yeah, his whole pride thing and whatever. I don't know, man. It just it wasn't doing it for me.
I,
Vigilantes was really good,
yeah. I was gonna
and that's
say,
ending in 2 chapters.
yeah, I was gonna say like I enjoyed Vigilantes more than MHA. Like with the Dobby
Oh
thing.
yeah, definitely for
With the
sure.
Dobby thing, it's like, yeah. But I think the big thing that I at least got from the MHA chapter before we move on to Vigilantes was they're fighting at Camino Ward, which is the last place that All Might fought at with All for One, and Dobby's just setting that bitch on fire. Like it's that, and we get to see some of Endeavor's other sidekicks besides Burning.
Well,
So
I think it's just the fact that we know Dobby's gonna end up
I
dying.
mean, yeah,
It's not that we know, but like he's gonna end up dying. And he's not gonna kill. It's either he's gonna like burn himself up to death, or like Todoroki's gonna kill him, or like Shoto's gonna kill him.
yeah, he might,
But he's gonna die. Dobby's gonna end up dying.
yeah.
That's why probably they're giving him so much damn airtime to talk. They're like, get all these words out, bro, because
He's
you ain't gonna be
waving the death
speaking
flags,
very
man.
soon. Listen, but JJK gets the bottom spot this week because I think that chapter was
That
just
shit was trash. I'm not gonna hold you, man. I did not like that chapter. Like, it wasn't trash. Let me not say that, but like, I just did not like it, bro. I'm sorry. Like, it didn't do anything for me.
It was just a lot of words. It felt sloppy.
It
It
was just talking to me. Like it wasn't really trying to show me through the actions, man. It was just talking. Like it's explaining. First of all, it set up the domain expansions, and I think that was one of the things that really made this chapter so hyped to look forward to because we were going to see three domain expansions. Like, granted, I understand the fact of like, okay, because it's three domain expansions, but not only that, the cursed user, the cursed cockroach, had some offspring, and he King Piccoloed them. So now, while the player himself is dead, the cursed spirit of his children are still alive, and they're gonna fight. So they're not even a part of the game, and it's bad to me because like you set up all of these things and it's all convoluted and you're just saying all of these different factors cause the domain expansions to just break. And now Yuji, because Yuta sees that whatchamacallit old girl is being distracted by the cockroach, I'm gonna sneak a hit in on her. And then you got Johnny Bravo shooting a blast in at her to knock her out. And then you got Yuji taking off the face of the cockroach. So what was the point of all of that, dog? Like what?
Yeah, it was once again. It felt like a lot of sloppiness. It just felt like things were all over the place. I mean, the curveball of Johnny Bravo and Utah being the last two right now standing, um, was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I get
Uh,
it, but like,
but I don't think anyone's actually like dead right now. I mean, they ain't say no points.
yeah, they didn't say any points. That is true. They didn't say any points.
So we gonna see. I mean, obviously, right now they're saying that Utah's curse technique hasn't replenished, so he's out of curse energy right now. But he obviously, he's known for having hands, anyways.
Hmm.
So I don't see any other issues with that. But yeah, man, this is the first week of the Big Eyes Power Rankings.
Yeah,
This is fun.
yeah, man.
I can't wait to see what more we get next week.
Yeah,
I think a
man.
lot of things are in some good spots though. So
Yeah, I really want to see where Duron goes. Like once we start getting back caught up in other things and like seeing where those stories take, because I do want to see. Obviously, Mashal and Black Clover won break this week also, so we couldn't do anything with them. But when we get to some of these other series and seeing where those stories unfold, I really want to see how they stack up against other things, man. Like,
for sure. Well, appreciate everyone listening to this episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. As always, you know where to find us on the lookout, RNC, wherever you listen to podcasts and whatever your social media platform that you most enjoy. Make sure you give us a follow. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to RNC Radio Live as always. And AD, what's the sign
you
off?
already know. Please read more manga, watch more anime, and be on the lookout, only on the lookout for the Big Eyes Podcast.